Rockets lose a hard-fought series against the Golden State Warriors again.
Wow.
Let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Summer State of Mind podcast, brought to you by J. Brown Barbecue, blocks from Toyota Center, Sadness, the best barbecue spot in the city of Houston, the best happy hour spot in the city of Houston. Make sure to go say what's up to Apollo's barbecue spot. And I got with me this afternoon, the Big Goose, DJ. It's been 48 hours since your Houston Rockets lost a hard-fought series against the Warriors. DJ,
So,
I know that there's a lot of emotions running through you the last 48 hours. We probably don't need to dive too much into the game, but DJ, how are you feeling today?
do I have to talk about it?
We can talk a little bit about it. Why don't we tell the people, because we've been watching in our respective areas where we've been winning.
Yeah.
Note, we haven't been watching together. DJ's been watching at home. Kenny and I have been in studio. Mm-hmm. It's different experiences. We had to stay away for the good juju that lasted until Game 7.
Yeah.
That's a no yeet.
Yeah, no yeet.
No yeet.
No fucking yeet, man.
But DJ, I know that it's been a long 48 hours of a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings that have been just conjured up from the past and brought to the surface again.
Facts.
DJ,
What's up?
let the world know.
Same shit, man. Different years. What is there to say? We came out Game 7 flat. Mm-hmm. Fred had to tell Şengün stop playing like a little biatch. Jalen is Jalen. I'm not gonna lie. I did think we had a chance. We did make a comeback, and
we were down by 3 in the third.
We were down by 3. Ooh, excuse me. We were down by 3, and just from there we couldn't get over the hump. I mean, there's nothing really to say. I have a lot to say, but I'm just keep it short. I want to give props to Şengün and the men for especially the men. His first few games, we're gonna say to Game 3. It wasn't the best.
Yeah.
He showed up. I'm proud of him. Throughout the adversity, he saw he wasn't playing his best, and games 4 through 7, games 5 through 7, whatever you want to count where he popped off. He showed up, and I'm proud of him. Şengün, also proud of him. I know, his efficiency wasn't the best, but he went out there and fought. Game 7, he started slow, and it just wasn't enough. I do have my faults, or have my complaints. The fact that Jabari Smith only played 12 minutes, that's a no-no.
We all felt that way. That was very much an opinion.
Jabari has been making big shot after big shot this whole series, and the fact that he's only gotten 12 minutes is a disservice to him. Mm-hmm. His defense, it wasn't the best at times, but you saw the effort, and we can go to Jalen and his faults. We can go to Dylan Brooks and his faults, Tari and, some of his faults. But obviously all the eyes are on Jalen Green. After that 38-point game, we thought, hey, maybe that's the one that should wake him up.
That's what we needed, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we needed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I even said, if Jalen would just average, 15, we're not actually average 35, 40, or 20, 28, or whatever. We just ask you, give us some level of offensive production. So outside of that 38-point game, I think it was 9 points.
Yeah. He put up one more point in Game 7 than James Harden did.
Yeah.
Which is, not a lot to say considering that James Harden is doo-doo in Game 7s, but,
Shout out to James Harden, man. I always can count on you for choking in a Game 7, James. No offense, man. No offense. I always can count on you, man.
We acknowledge it.
Yeah, we acknowledge it. But, Yeah, I'm not gonna fault Jalen too much on that. Their game plan was take him out the game, take him out, take him away.
Exactly.
Don't let him get hot. Don't let him have 38 points again.
Yeah.
And they did a damn good job.
They did.
They did. I commend them for taking away Jalen Green. Congratulations. Congratulations. For Fred as well, started rough, but he saw we was down 3-1. He said, okay, let me wake the fuck up. Let me show these kids, hey, there's still a chance every game.
Yeah.
And, he showed out as well. So, yeah. Those are my thoughts. Fuck Buddy Hield. It had to have been, but I would rather for it to be Steph fucking Curry hitting 33 fucking points instead of fucking Buddy fucking Hield.
Yeah, I don't think any of us expected that. I mean, when games 5 and 6, he only put up 4 points total, I believe.
What?
Yeah, it was disgusting work. I mean, last year, Buddy Hield wasn't even on the 76ers playoff rotation, so it kind of shows a lot about, effectiveness in terms of the team that you're a part of.
I think Buddy Hield started off like one of the best 3-point shooters in the league this year. And then after that hot start Golden State got off, I think it was like 12 and 4. After that, he just fell the fuck off. And I'm thinking damn, Buddy Hield, downfall is looking crazy. I thought dude was gonna be like one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, and now he fucking putting up bricks out every night. Draymond yelling at his fucking ass to get off the court, and now he want to pop off in Game 7.
I mean, I feel like that's the Rockets' MO in terms of role players that tend to kind of have their best games against us, regardless if it's at Toyota Center or if it's at their home floor. But there are a lot of observations that were made of Game 7, and you brought up one that really struck a nerve with me was the Jabari Smith Jr. only getting 12 minutes. I felt like that was a disservice to him. It was a disrespect to him. I mean, we saw what happened in Game 6 when Dylan Brooks got into foul trouble, and Jabari Smith Jr. and Tari Eason used those minutes as a way to show, we're not dudes that are going to lie down. We'll play defense, we'll hit buckets. Yeah. And Jabari Smith Jr. showed it in Game 6. And I felt that he was an X factor in this series. And the games he did pop off were games that we did win. And I felt like in Game 7, when we did have a shot, he hit the 3 to get us down 3 on the defensive rebound. But it's just really unfortunate that Ime stuck
with Dylan Brooks.
To Dylan Brooks. And I mean, no offense to Dylan. I mean, I really liked what Dylan did this year for our team. But you got to roll with what's working.
What's working,
And even though Jabari Smith Jr. may not have been given the same amount of his defense wasn't as good as we wanted it to be in the playoffs, right? It's a different intensity. But I think we had more to make up for it, considering what we had on the floor.
Yeah.
And they ran with what was going down, and Dylan just disappeared like he did in Memphis in the playoffs. And that's just kind of like the MO. And, I respect Ime for sticking to his guns and sticking to his guys. But at the same time, I'm going to give kudos to Steve Kerr for the adjustments that he did make away from the zone and to punish us with the zone. And it just felt like it was just an avalanche of negative vibes, bad hoops overall, and there was just so much happening. You could tell that Şengün was fatigued. They got the offense that they wanted. Golden State played it to the way that they wanted it. They rolled out Jalen, and they put the ball mainly Şengün's hands.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you was talking about the offense Golden State was running.
No. I'm talking about the defense, the way that they played their defense to stop our guard, and they did. They worked it to perfection.
They did it perfection too.
And they left the game in Alp's hands, and Fred's hands, and Amen's hands. Both of those latter two to an extent, but it was a Şengün-led offensive hub, and that's where you saw the sustainability of that all moving in the end of Game 7. And, shout out to Şengün for working so hard, but that's the conditioning aspect, And considering that we had Steph Curry, who's, 37, 38 years old, playing 40 minutes, playing 40 minutes a game. And, with his legs, and then Alp being 23, 22, and not being able to keep up. I mean, granted, they're not the same stature, but
Yeah.
youth should have been an advantage here, and unfortunately, it didn't work in terms of execution. But we got to be proud of the team and
Oh,
the
yeah,
type of effort they put up, especially in Game 7 with the men, and
Yeah.
how hard he played, and he did the best he possibly could on that floor.
Yeah.
We got a dog in him.
Oh, yeah.
Dogging him.
I do give credit to a man, Sengun. Even I know Steven Adams didn't have a good Game 7, but at his age and the injuries he went through,
Yep.
you don't expect him to play all those minutes. Well, he played a lot of minutes this series, and he produced. I mean, he had, besides Game 7, he had them boys and oh my God, how the hell do we stop him? This, that, and the third. So yeah, I do give credit to the guys that fought to the end. They didn't want to go out down without a fight. They understand the implications, and I think this is a learning lesson for them.
Yep.
They will learn from this, and yeah, I mean they'll learn from this. I don't think it'll be the same.
Yeah.
Next year when we're in the playoffs, this won't happen.
This is kind of like where you see what you had. Our downfall was basically the main issues that we had spoken about all year.
Free throws,
the half-court
and
offense,
half-court
and free
offense.
throws,
Yep.
right? Like, those are the main issues that we had talked about all year in terms of execution. We've seen it over and over again. And playing against a dynasty like Golden State will definitely give you some, slices of humble pie,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate because that's not the team you want it from.
I'm convinced karma doesn't exist with fucking Draymond Green.
Yeah, man.
He's had a dirty fucking play or a crazy play every game this series. You telling me?
He never got kicked
And
out.
you telling me karma does not
Because
exist?
didn't he hit both Jalen and Fred on Game 7?
It was I think game 1 he messed with Sengun. Game 2 he I think just trucked the shit out of a man for no fucking reason. I don't know what happened game 3. Game 4 I forgot, but I'm pretty sure he did some dumbass shit. Game 5 he did some dumbass shit. Game 6 he fucking tugged on Jalen's hair for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
And in game 7 he fucking hits Fred VanVleet in the fucking face. And you telling me karma exists with a guy like that? Fuck no, man. Fuck no. Fuck all that, man.
No, man, for real. I mean, overall, it's very disappointing, but there's a lot of positive things that we could take out of it. But before we go talk about anything moving forward into the offseason, we have to expand and talk about the person that has been the name of, who's gotten a lot of flack over the internet, Rockets Twitter, Instagram. You see it everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. Jalen Green.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Green, the scapegoat. I think it's a little unfair to give him that, but I'm going to say this in terms of Jalen for me, DJ, is that Golden State executed their defense to perfection, like we said earlier. And Jalen wasn't able to turn it around and be effective in other ways. I will say this. His defense was there. His effort was there. But on offense, like we've stated all year, when his confidence is shot, he's just not all in.
He's not the same player.
And what we really needed was to see him move more off the ball, find ways to get the ball to him, and be aggressive when the opportunities arrived. But you could just tell he was off rhythm every time he touched. His confidence wasn't there. I feel like every game started out with a major turnover in the first 4 possessions from Jalen.
Yeah.
And it just, mentally, it just wasn't there. And I don't know what's going on with him in his personal life, but if anything was going on, it's very telling. But overall, he just didn't play well. And we had higher expectations for him. Outside of Game 2, it was very disappointing. And I'm not saying that he had to be the man every game, but we had to see a fight. We had to see some aggression. We had to see some attempts. And to me, it just seemed like he didn't play like he wanted to accept any kind of blame, right? And for a young player, most young players, I feel like that's kind of how it would be. I mean, outside of Kobe Bryant in '97, when my man put up 2 threes and airballed him in a crucial game against Utah. You don't really see that type of aggression from a young player or a guy that you would consider a potential star. But, what we see here is a guy that was game planned against truthfully and being taken out of his element. And it's up to him to move forward and go into the lab and figure his own shit out to ensure that doesn't happen again. But DJ, I'm going to ask you, man, like based on what we were talking about earlier, like, do you really believe that Jalen is the real scapegoat to why we lost the series? Because we understand that he was definitely a major piece, but is he the main reason why?
No, he's not the main reason. I say the reason why we lost the series is because people are probably going to disagree with me. Free throws.
Yep.
Games we shot 80% or above, we won.
Mm-hmm.
Games we shot obviously 80% below, or 79% below, we lost. We hit free throws, we win a series.
Yep.
It's also defense as well. Buddy Hield was wide open so many times in Game 7.
I mean, the man hit 9 threes.
Exactly. I think
which
that was
is an obnoxious number.
That was crazy. And I was just thinking, like, who was leaving them open? I mean, defense rotations were bad Game 7. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't just Game 7. It was
Games 3.
Yeah, Game 3. I think Jimmy out. You got to take advantage of that. I think Gary Payton had a good game this series. Paz had a good game this series. Mm-hmm. We all knew Steph was Steph.
Yep.
I said if you could just hold Steph on the 25, or not even 25, let's just say 23, right? You can win the series maybe. He averaged 24, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best 24, but Steph is Steph. Steph is the best shooter in the world. Arguably a top 10 player of all time. I'll give props to him, man. Steph is Steph. And then you let Draymond hit threes too. Like I understand, like the stats say, he's this percentage from this place on the three or whatever. Like, nah, man. A three is a three. An open three is an open three. If they hit it, okay, cool. If they don't, okay,
At least you contest it.
Yeah, contest it. That we didn't contest well, but Jalen did play a factor. Again, like you said, outside of that 38-point game, he's just been like non-existent on offense. And usually, the best, and I'm not saying Jalen is the absolute best right now. He's working on that. But usually the best, like the one who want to be great, figure out, hey, how else can I score? How else can I, contribute on the offensive side of the ball? Because even on the defensive side, he was doing his thing. But at the same time, his rotations, his, assignments, he gets lost on it. So I'm not going to fault Jalen entirely on it. He is a main reason because if he was just average 15, I would say 15 points, maybe 18 points this series.
Yeah.
We win
I think
series.
15 definitely could have gotten us there. I mean, we would have won Game 4.
We would have been
the difference.
We would have won in 6.
Yep.
My prediction would have been right. We would have won in 6 because we get at least some production from Jalen. And then also we gotta also consider the fact that Amen, didn't have his best
games either.
Yeah,
start,
exactly. He started terrible. His defense was bad too. So, and Şengün as well. So, Turkey. Sorry, but I gotta call it out. He didn't make his free throws. He was missing shots as well. Easy shots. But it's not Jalen's fault entirely. I'll put maybe no, that's too low. I'm gonna put maybe 45% on Jalen.
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
Yeah, 45%.
I feel like you put free throws as pretty much the main reason. Like you could see it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Free throws are free, so I mean you got to hit them.
Yeah, you got to hit them.
And, excuse me, sorry guys, but like when push comes to shove, and you're getting free throws, and you're shooting as many free throws as the Rockets are, because the Rockets were playing very aggressively.
Because they were fouling the shit out.
Yes.
My goodness.
And, I mean, you saw that free throw differential in Game 7. That was nutty. I mean, we probably took, 15 to 20 more than Golden State. And you could tell by the way the aggression that the Rockets played with that, they were playing like they wanted it. And it's just when you get to the line, you got to hunker down and focus, and you just got to hit them. I mean, shout out to Steven Adams in Game 6, hitting those free throws. But, it shouldn't all fall on him.
Yeah.
I understand why they did Hackett Adams. They did Hackett Dwight, Hackett Shaq, all that good stuff that we've seen in the past. But it's just a ploy to see if the guys can make shots. And unfortunately, we just didn't make enough. And, I mean, there were definitely games in which we could have hit enough free throws that would have made a difference. But all we can really look at it is that we got to find ways to manufacture points, and we got to get guys that are missing free throws. Like all of the guys are missing free throws. Like LP was missing free throws, and then was missing some. Game 7, I think my man was perfect from the line almost, and then Who else?
Jalen.
Jalen was missing.
I
Tari missed some crucial ones too.
Dylan missed some.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I feel like the heads just weren't in it, man.
Yeah.
And like that's what comes with the territory is the mental aspect of these playoffs.
I wouldn't say their heads went in. I think they got nervous. I think they got nervous because Game 7. It's their first Game 7.
You're right. I totally misworded what I was trying to say, but you're right.
No.
It's mostly because of the nervousness. The nervousness. That's an easy way to talk yourself out of any situation, not just a Game 7, but anything in life. We've all been there. We've all had our doubts. I think everybody kind of understands that when it pertains to anything that we do, nothing is worth doing if it's not scary. A Game 7 is always scary. But that's where guts and glory shows. And unfortunately, there just wasn't enough glory for the Rockets this time around. But, DJ, let's give a quick flash to Fred VanVleet, man. But before we talk about Fred, let's give a quick shout-out to our sponsor, J Bar and Barbecue. Minutes from Toyota Center, down on Leland Street. Everyone show up and show out to the best barbecue spot in the city. Today for you guys, it will be Wednesday. And Wednesday is Brisket Burger Wednesday. And let me tell you, man, that is one of the best burgers I have ever had.
That was fucking amazing.
And I definitely tell you guys, go over there, show some support, show some love. They got a great full bar. They got a beer garden outside with a big LED screen to go watch all your favorite sports. And, I mean, you can watch the playoffs without the Houston Rockets in it. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't have good barbecue while that's going on. So make sure everyone to go visit J Bar and Barbecue down in downtown Houston, and let them know that Apollo sent you. But, DJ, Fred VanVleet had himself a great series, I'm not even going to lie. And today they mentioned that because it was supposed to be that the contract was supposed to be either accepted or declined, his team option was supposed to be decided in 5 days. But apparently they might extend it to where we can decide till the end of June. I don't know if that's the for sure date.
Yeah.
But, DJ, I want to know, like, when you hear stuff like that, what does that make you think of, and why would they do that?
It shows that they're taking this carefully. Obviously, Stone hasn't made every right decision, but he made the most important decisions. I do trust he makes the right decision on this. Me personally, I would love to have Fred back. Obviously, we saw in the playoffs with 5 through 7 with.
Games 5 through...
Yeah, 5 through...
Or 4 through 6?
4 through 6, yeah.
Even parts of 7.
Yeah, parts of 7. He's a leader. He's the leader we need. He's the guy we need in the locker room. Obviously, a champion. Obviously, he's played in the big moments. We saw Game 6. He just walked straight into San Francisco and just...
Showed them who their daddy was for one night.
What night?
For one night.
For one night. Just for one night. Just for one night. He showed them, hey, man, like, y'all see how I played in this arena. Y'all see, what type of shots I've hit, man. This ain't nothing new to me. It'll be good to have him back because, again, veteran presence. He's a big-time shot maker. And just all around, he's all around a good guy. I think all the guys love to have him around, and he obviously loves it here too. So I wouldn't mind having him back, but I do like the fact that they're taking their options, they're weighing their options carefully. And Stone even said he might continue with this roster into next season. So, but you never know. GMs change their mind. He might say, "Hey, Fred, we thank you for your contribution to the team, but we're going in a different direction."
Yeah.
You never know. So, thoughts, opinions, they change over time. We never know. Whenever they extend the deadline to June, July, whenever, they're going to take their time and weigh their options carefully and look at the data or whatever. So, I'm not really, going to harp too much on that. But me personally, again, I would like to have it back because, good guy, great vet guy. And I think, he can help read, help some of the young guys.
Absolutely. I mean, he's basically seen as a veteran that could be a mentor for a lot of these guys. Like for me personally, I would love to have Fred back. Yeah. And I think that getting Fred back would be the correct decision. I mean, if you asked me this 4 months ago, I might have said something different.
Oh, yeah.
We were the ones pushing for a man to be the starter. But, things change, and as games play out, you kind of see how people perform. And the way Fred performed, when we were down 3-1 was like pretty much proof of what that guy is and what kind of player he is.
Yep.
And I think that Stone doing that, and if Fred does agree to it, I think the good thing about it is basically Fred saying, I want to stay. And I understand that my money is a lot of money. And if you're thinking that we can allocate that elsewhere, then how can I help you?
Yeah.
And obviously Fred will do it to where it's fair, but it gives more time to negotiate and to kind of figure things out. I do think that the Rockets will eventually come to an agreement, and I don't think it's going to be accepting. I think they'll decline it and take an extension. Probably be a 2 or 3 year extension.
Yeah.
He might go from like $45 million a year to maybe like 20 to 25.
Yeah.
And that would
That'd be cool.
that would make sense to me in terms of what the Rockets are trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Because, he still showed that despite his struggles during the year, he played when it mattered the most, and he showed up when it mattered most. And I think that says a lot about the kind of player that he is and the kind of leader he is for this team. And being able to agree to that, we don't know if it's been agreed upon yet.
Yeah.
We're just saying that, hypothetically speaking, that if he does agree upon it, that's basically him putting good faith in the team and putting good faith in Stone to whether we add pieces in the offseason. Or
Kevin Durant.
And I mean, if that does occur, then it shows that Fred is doing his part in terms of like maybe we can quote unquote absorb more salary. There you go, right? So I mean, that overall just has me excited because it kind of just shows the kind of players and the kind of leader that Fred is. If he's willing to do that, that shows a little bit of unselfishness from our main guy, and I think that's a great thing. But DJ, we'll do one last thing. I told you this before we got here, but we'll do it like we did. The Texas Trinity prediction panel. But I don't know if I'll do it a straight prediction. But my thing was, DJ, for the both of us, is there a move that one of us would want, and if we could make it, what would be the prediction of the move? Right, like there's we all know the players that are available.
Yeah.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant. I mean, the Phoenix Suns do want their picks back. So, DJ, what is the move that you want the Rockets to make happen?
I think it's all dependent on where we fall in the lottery.
Thought about that too.
Don't get me wrong. I do want to take a chance on Kevin Durant, but if the GM, thinks like, nah, I might roll it back and just draft who we draft at where we fall in the lottery. Okay, cool. I'm right behind you, Stone. I will have my faults. I will have my thoughts and concerns, but hey, like not every pick. I won't say every pick, but like most picks that he's drafted, have it. But let's just hypothetically say we get number one. Phoenix say, hey, we'll give you KD. Just give us some of our picks back. I think if we do land a top 3 pick, I think we do make a move and trade for Kevin Durant. And you never know. I think they're gonna look at the data. I think they're gonna be like, we need that guy when we need a bucket. Because Şengün love him, but most times he can't get that bucket.
No.
Yeah. Jalen obviously can't get that bucket. Fred, we can't depend on a 30-31 Fred.
Yeah, that's just not feasible.
Yeah. Reed, we know if you want to go to Reed, maybe they think Reed's not ready yet. Jabari and Tari, not viable at times. Dylan is Dylan. He'll make shots when he can. But they're probably like, we need that one guy.
Yeah.
That can get a bucket and we can depend on. And that might be Kevin Durant. Hell, that might maybe even be Giannis.
Man, Giannis would be something.
Yeah, so Giannis would be something. But I think if we do land a top 3 pick, we might trade that for Kevin Durant. That's that would be a key take. Yeah.
No, I mean, I completely agree. I think that, for me, I think Kevin Durant would probably be the move and probably the most likely of moves considering his age and the kind of demand that a deal would take back. I don't know how the money works. I don't have the sheet.
I think it's like making like
He's like 40 to 50.
40 to 50 million.
Something like that, right? So we'd
Yeah.
probably have to send out at least like, I don't know, 40 million. I think it's like 80% of what he's making. So I send out about 40 million. That would probably be consisting of, based on if we were to hypothetically give Phoenix like, this year's first and maybe a couple of their first, or maybe, one of Brooklyn's in exchange as opposed to, one of our, what's it called? Our, I think we own one more Brooklyn pick where we can swap.
Yeah.
Right? So we could offer them Phoenix this year, next year's Brooklyn swap, and then maybe another first, depending, I don't know, 3 firsts, and then you're obviously going to trade Dylan. I mean, I hate to say it like that. Because I know, like, Dylan's become a fan favorite here, but you saw he performed in the playoffs, and
Wasn't
for
good.
Kevin Durant,
Yeah, I'll
you still got other guys. Like, it'd probably include, like, a combo of like Cam Whitmore, Reed
and
Shepherd maybe.
Yeah.
And, you don't want that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to kind of configure, like, what are the moves and the margins that we can make. And then those guys weren't even the rotation this year. You want to also account for another year older Fred, but you'll also have another year of experience with Bari, Tari, Şengün, and even Jalen, those guys, So there will be improvements there. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I think that if that were to happen, it can definitely be possible. I mean, KD is friends with a lot of the people on this team.
Yeah.
So
he's spoken highly of some of the guys.
He spoke very
too.
highly of a lot of the guys.
Especially Şengün.
The man has an interest in coming to Houston. And I think he's made it known between the lines, if you read between them, that this is a team that he wants to join. But the question is, can he commit to the intensity that Ime demands? And that's the issue.
Yeah, I think he could. Defensively, I think he could. I know he's up there in age. He's getting, a little bit injury prone.
Based on what they'd ask of him, because we do have guys like, if we were signed Steve-O and Şengün.
Oh my God, we forgot about Steve-O. Oh no, we did talk about Steve-O.
We did talk about him.
Yeah,
we do need to resign him. But
we do need to resign Steve-O.
For real, that was like outside of this little thing. Obviously we want Kevin Durant, and I mean I think that's logical. It's not like we're saying like you got to trade Şengün for Giannis, because I feel like that'd be the only feasible offer, right?
Yeah.
And that I don't know if that's something that the team would be willing to make. Maybe Devin Booker. If that's a player that's offered in terms of what Phoenix is desiring back. Obviously, they'll definitely look into that. But, overall, I feel like in terms of where we lose the least amount of pieces that are impactful, it's Kevin Durant trade. And that's kind of where you kind of want to move. This is, acquiring an Olympian, like a million-time All-Star, maybe one of the greatest scorers of all time.
Two-time champ, two-time Finals MVP.
Exactly.
One of the best scorers, the league has ever seen.
Yeah.
Why not have that on your team?
Absolutely.
Because I think he's, 35, 36, and he's still averaging almost or over 25 points per game. Even the year he came off of the Achilles and
in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn. He was, oh my goodness, he was averaging like 29, 30 a game, and I think he led the leading scorer. No, man, I'm not going to pass that up.
Because that was the year that he went to the semis and the
foot was on the line. Yeah, and
Poor
then James went on an injury. Kyrie, yeah. I mean, he was just carrying that Brooklyn team, Anywhere Kevin goes, like, he's one of the best scorers, and he's going to prove that every night. Kevin Durant's the guy that, just wants to hoop.
Yep.
No matter what team he on, he just wants to hoop, and he wants to win. So, again, would love to have Kevin here. I think he would buy into Ime's, philosophy. Offense, we're figuring out. They're gonna figure out. But defense, we're hard nosed. We don't play around on that. So
I think he'd totally buy into the type of nitty gritty team that we do have, and he knows that he'd have guys like Tari and Jabari, and even Fred, fighting for him. We've seen what Jabari has done every time a teammate has gone into a scuffle. And Amen, too. Are you going to mention Amen? Amen literally threw Tyler Hero to the ground. Like he was Brock Lesnar suplexing Kurt Angle. That's what it looked like. It was nutty.
Wish he would have threw Draymond.
I wish, man.
Fuck Draymond.
But these kind of things are we'll expand a lot more in the off season. But we just want to give a quick shout out to everybody that has watched this show this year. This is the first year we've covered the Rockets as a playoff team.
Wow.
And it's been amazing.
It's been fun.
Oh my gosh.
We had ups and downs. It's been fun. Even when we went through that losing streak.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys. This was still a winning team. proving people wrong.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't get out the first round, we still proved, a lot of, people wrong, saying, like, these guys, this core can't make it, to the playoffs. It's, a Shingun-led team is not going to do anything in the West. This is just a start. This is just a taste. I'm not too down because, we lost to a more experienced 3 Hall of Famers on the same team, Hall of Fame coach. It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like even though, like when Harden got here, the first 2 years he was here, we didn't get out of the first round. I mean, expectations are increasing for this team, and we're just happy that we got there. But I mean, it's kind of wild that we were the 2 seed, considering where we came from, and the fact that we played against a team and we fought hard against a team that has been giving us nightmares for the last decade. Yeah. And I mean, it sucks. It really sucks.
I think we were like the 11th seed last year.
Yeah, we were 11th
seed. Yeah, from 11 to 2.
Yep. That's a wild-ass jump.
It is a wild-ass jump. And then having a coach of the year finalist, man, that's a wild jump.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
So I know these guys are like upset that they, lost in the first round, but I mean, I would hold my head high a little bit because, like, nobody had us this high. Nobody had us winning 50-plus games. Everybody had us, they're going to be a playing team. If they do make it, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, tip the cap off to the boys, man. Shout out to the Rockets, man.
No, for real. I mean, we all went through the wild emotions of the last couple weeks of this series. Like, we went from losing game 1 and going down 3-1
Damn it, man.
to, winning 2 straight to get us to a 7th game. And, shout out to the city for showing out.
Yeah,
game 7, the crowd was packed before tip-off. And I got to give you got to give a quick shout-out to them. Like, I mean, the team has been asking for it all season. And when it mattered, they did show up. We're very appreciative of the city. I'm sure the players are appreciative of the energy. But, again, I just want to, say thank you to all of our viewers. It's been a great year, and we're excited about what's coming for the future. So stay tuned. We'll be around for the off season. It may not be as consistent, but there will be plenty of topics for us to talk about, especially as we head into the draft.
I think draft lottery is coming up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I think it's in a few weeks.
Yeah. I think it's in a couple days. Is it Thursday or am I tripping?
Is it this? Is it?
I think it's this Thursday. I don't know.
I don't even know.
We don't know, but it's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming soon. But we'll, it's okay, guys. It's gonna. We'll make it through the off season.
We're good, man.
And I think that there's a lot to come for this team. But DJ, let the world know where they can find you, man.
Always on Twitter at Hustletown Season, SZN at the end.
And we didn't get to the second round, so they can't get your Instagram.
Nope, no yeet. Sorry, buddy. I'm just playing, but hopefully y'all get that soon. So,
My man hasn't gone public yet. It's okay. Sometimes we need a little separation.
Yeah, I need my private life.
There you go. Yeah. It's okay. But everyone, make sure to follow me on all socials at JP_Mirabueno. Make sure to follow the podcast on Twitter at Summit, SOMPOD. Follow the podcast on Instagram at Summit State of Mind _POD. And make sure to follow all of our socials, our company, the big A right behind us, at Apollo HOU. And do not forget to, what we're going to do? We're going to drop a people's elbow on that subscribe button today.
I like that.
So everyone do that. We're at 14.5K subs. I think I saw that yesterday. I might be wrong. I swear I saw us at 14.5K. So thank you to everyone for subbing to us on YouTube. The next goal, 15K. Can we get there? We'll get there. Hopefully we can get there after, sooner than later. Maybe at the end of the summer we can get there. But also this Saturday, we got, just before we go, Backlash Watch Party. One last time. Randy Orton versus John Cena over at Big City Wings in Marquee. We will all be there at Paul Wrestling. The 3 guys in this room. The commish is behind the camera. But, me and DJ will be there. So we hope you guys join us too, everyone that lives in Houston. So show up and show out. And,
Is it
I guess it's time to go. Exit left, huh?
I think my appearance might be like TBA.
Oh, okay. Well,
in that, cause
DJ might not.
I don't know. I got a date that night, so
Let the world know.
I'm sorry. Why did I say that, bro?
Let the world know.
Damn, I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry.
DJ's a lucky man right now. But
maybe
anyways,
I'm trying to figure stuff out.
You already know. We'll see what goes down. But anyways, for those that come out, we'll see you Saturday. And DJ, you gotta give him the word, bro.
4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.
Yeet.
We out.